counselor to the president, Kellyanne Conway. Kellyanne, let's listen to the president react right after Mueller testified. Roll it.
The performance was obviously not very good. He had a lot of problems. But what he showed more than anything else is that this whole thing has been 3 years of embarrassment and waste of time for our country. And you know what? The Democrats thought they could win an election like this. I think they hurt themselves very badly for 2020.
So, Kellyanne, now the White House goes from defense to offense with all these probes. And if you just look at the numbers, he's at the strongest position he's been from what I can remember. He's at his highest approval level in the ABC News Washington Post poll. He's right now ahead of where Obama was in the polls at this stage of the presidency. And he's got the best economic approval in decades.
That's right.
What's the mood like right now at the White House?
Well, the mood is euphoric and triumphant, but it's also regrettable that this president and everybody close to him had to go through this, along with the country going through it. Where did we go to get the last 2.5 years back, Jesse?
Yeah.
And the fact that this president is able to preside over an historically booming economy, deregulation, try to make peace and progress with leaders around the world, is doing energy development, the opioid crisis, overdose deaths are down for the first time in 4 decades. People are getting back to work off the sidelines and being reskilled. The fact that he can do that with this waste of an investigation and now litigation all around him is truly remarkable. So without this cloud, he's going to be on 16 cylinders, not just 8. But look, I want to go back to March when the Mueller report came out.
Yeah.
What was the most popular question that all of us were asked? When are you going to move on? Are you going to move on now? People, particularly in the media, were worried that we might lord over them the fact that they had gotten this so wrong, that the Mueller report was a big nothing burger. That quickly dissipated when they realized that they can still have investigative hearings and the crowning moment, invite Bob Mueller himself to testify. And they just said, wait for it, wait for it. And now we're back to that again, where they want to move on and talk about election protection. Of course, this president is very concerned about foreign interference in elections. We don't want Russia to interfere. We don't want China. But you know what? We also don't want the mainstream media to interfere in the elections this time either, like they tried to do last time. Get your thumb off the electoral scale. Let people fight it out fairly and squarely. Let this president run on this booming economy and see what happens.
Yeah.
But I have to say, the president's been very modest in his victory lap this week because he's so busy doing great things for this country. But I also think that when are people going to apologize? You've put private citizens
You'll never hear
through
an apology.
litigation, investigation, harassment, trying to embarrass them. And now Jerry Nadler had his press conference on Friday basically saying they're going to go to court to enforce these subpoenas.
Yeah, you'll never hear an apology because that would be an admission
But the country
that they
knows.
lied for 2 years. No, they'll never apologize. And you know what? The president is the most modest. Some people say he's the most modest person in the world. And modesty is his best quality, Kellyanne.
I see it.
I think everybody
I know
agrees
others
on that.
don't want to say it. He's modest and he's patient.
No, I get it. He's very
More than people
patient, and he's
realize.
put up with this for a very long time. So how does he capitalize on this? Because, like you said, the media credibility is now shot. Democrat credibility is shot. They've wasted over 100 hearings on a hoax. They've shut down the government. They've done nothing on infrastructure, drug prices, trade, immigration, health care. And they're going to go back in August to their districts on vacation. And what are they going to tell their constituents?
Well, 2 things. Number one, there's no public appetite for impeachment. And Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker, knows that. In fact, we all know it because just last week, a resolution on impeachment failed 323 to 95. That's not a squeaker. What there is public appetite for, according to the Fox News poll and other polls, is action on immigration, action on health care, action on drug pricing. This president works on that every single day here. Just this week, he had significant meetings on all 3 of those issues and trade. So 4 of the top issues. So he will work to get those bilateral trade deals completed, including the USMCA, trade with China perhaps. But he will also he's working on drug pricing. He's got a great new health care plan coming out soon. And he will continue to do the people's business. I just wonder if these other networks even have experts other than the made-for-TV lawyers to talk about the humming economy or the deregulation. And the other legacy this president will continue to work on is the judiciary.
Yeah,
he has
it's an amazing
close to
judicial
150
legacy.
federal judges on the bench that were
Absolutely.
nominated and approved under President Trump, and he'll just keep going with that.
All right.
So
Well, I
he's
think
going to keep on talking directly to the American people,
Yep.
and people can keep talking to themselves about what may have been. And that he'll just keep talking to the people, and we're dangerously close to 2020, and I think he's the one with the perfect vision.
All right. I think all of the country is very happy this is closing as a chapter in our history. Kellyanne, thank
Thanks,
you
Jesse.
very much.
Take care.